This week on Finding Avalon, we acquire a new crew member to take on the Pacific Ocean with us.
We've got a whole team on the operation.
We're hard at work preparing for our upcoming 4,000 nautical mile crossing, and we take the first few steps in the epic journey that lies ahead of us. Welcome to the story of three sailors taking the long way home to Australia on a 38-foot boat called Finding Avalon.
We got momentum now. That is hectic. Last
week we showed Jackson's sister and best mate around Panama, and everyone got a bit sad when it was time for them to leave. And we began preparations to make Finding Avalon a boat fit to cross the largest expanse of ocean in the world. Welcome to the House of Fun. I'm gonna say it, this has been the toughest week on Avalon, I'd say. Preparing for the Pacific crossing, we have to fit a holding tank for the Galapagos requirements, and then all the other things that go with preparing for a big crossing, so provisioning and cleaning and getting the boat ready and all that jazz. Last night was spent until the wee hours trying to pull poo pipes through the floor, and now we are cleaning said poo pipes with vinegar, so yeah, we're pretty whacked out. We've been eating shop bought cheese toasties pretty much every day, and I'm feeling pretty low on energy, but help's nearly at hand. We've got our extra, okay, spoiler alert, we've got our extra crew member Alexa arriving in 2 days time, and yeah, we're really excited about that. She's gonna be with us for a few months actually, so things are changing on Finding Avalon. She's one of my good friends from way back when. Her dad's got the same boat as us. He's got an Elan Impression, so she knows it like the back of her hand, and she's just full of energy, and she's a no-nonsense kind of gal. She'll get stuck in and help us, and I think the main thing is she's gonna make sure that we have fun as well. She's yeah, she'll make sure that we get out there and do some things in between, so that's gonna be really good.
This is proving to be very difficult. We've got a lot of it done. I've hooked up the pump, but I'm trying to hook up the outlet of the toilet, and that is what is proving to be so hard right now.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Wiping.
But as you can see, yeah, I caught some of it, and the rest is...
Alexa had been kind enough to lug a solar panel all the way from Australia.
This is the life of your solar panel. It's the most well-travelled solar panel. We are now in Bali, and we are on our way to Central America. You owe me a few beers.
Unfortunately, the solar panel was the only piece of Alexa's luggage that successfully made it to Panama. So the next few days involved lending Alexa a few things and praying to God that her bags arrived in time for the crossing.
Whilst I installed the well-travelled solar panel, the girls got stuck into provisioning shop number 2.
Where are you going, Xanthe?
Oh, look, this is a workout.
Team, how are you guys going? We've got help.
We've got a whole team on the operation, and the funny thing is, this is only the second provision. We've got another one just like this coming up.
I'm so overwhelmed with all the shopping.
Feels like Christmas, doesn't it?
It feels like my absolute nightmare.
So we just got our mainsail back from the sailmaker, and we got all the new luff tapes. So luff tape and leech tape, sorry. So that's our leech tape, and we got a luff tape which goes up the main. It had just damaged and crumpled, so there was a few areas which were pretty weak and deteriorating, and when the sail was flapping and whatnot, you could see that it was pretty far from going, and once that goes, we'll get a rip all the way down the sail. Plus they did a bunch of patches up there on like the on the batten pockets and whatnot, just reinforced all those bits, and you can see like they just put some extra webbing in places that were deteriorating or stitching and stuff. So yeah, hopefully we'll get another 10,000 miles out of these sails. After 10 days flogging ourselves in Panama City in an effort to get Finding Avalon ready for our big adventure, we could not be more happy to be sailing again. Alexa got herself familiar with the boat, and we ran a safety briefing. I'm assuming that the person is conscious of
I've been defending.
Grab the middle one.
What do I get back?
We had 900 nautical miles between Panama City and the Galapagos Islands, and approximated 8 days at sea.
I know I'm not getting any younger, and it's getting real.
The Intertropical Convergence Zone, known by sailors as the doldrums. This is the area where the northeast and southeast trade winds converge, collide and rise up into the atmosphere, leaving behind a dead patch, not a whisper of wind.
My name's Alexa. I'm a long-time friend of Xanthe's. I'm a snowboarder, so I am on snowboard seasons a lot as a mountain guide, and I've just finished the season in Japan, and I had this beautiful invitation to come and join Finding Avalon on the crossing of the Pacific. So here I am. Finding Avalon is the same boat that my parents have, which is a beautiful coincidence. And when Xanthe and Jackson were looking for the boat and they found it in Pula, Croatia, I was actually at my mum's house just around the corner, about 40 minutes away, seeing family. So I got to see Finding Avalon when she was in the yard, also known as the hard, and the guys were polishing her down and trying to find parts. And I had the beautiful pleasure of sanding down the teak and the boom, getting all of like the marina branding off her, and it's cool to be in the water, and we're in the middle of the North Pacific right now, which is kind of cool. I'm a snowboarder and also a surfer, and I have this website called Still Stoked, which is about empowering women in the outdoors and in action sports. Essentially what I've been trying to do for the last 8 years that I've been running it is to create the stories that I wished were available when I was a kid for the next generation of female athletes. Because it's super hard to be what you can't see, and when I was growing up you'd look through the magazines and there was like no photos of women snowboarders or mountaineers. And I think the same was in surfing, there was no women surfing. So I'm trying to put out all of the stories to encourage or just show girls, young girls, that you can do whatever you want, you can be whatever you want, and that there's other women out there paving the way. And one of the biggest things that I'm stoked about doing on Finding Avalon is finding waves, lots and lots of waves, and surfing spots that hopefully not many people have surfed before. I'm going to try and drag Xanthe and Jackson onto some barrels with me.
We're making hay while the sun's shining today. We've got another day of zero wind and very calm seas, and we are expecting a little bit of
There's the life jacket up there as well.
we are expecting a few rough moments in the next couple of days, so we thought we'd take advantage of this time and finish scrubbing the hull while the water is sensationally clear and calm.
Among the many stringent requirements for yachts entering the Galapagos, it is required to have a completely spotless bottom. If one single barnacle was to be found on the hull, we could be sent 40 miles offshore with a commercial diver in order to scrub the boat clean of any critters at our cost.
Guys, if that tickled you, then please give the thumbs up button a little prod and definitely subscribe. You have no idea how much all these things help us out. And yeah, if you guys are wondering how we manage to produce videos in such remote locations, we have a lovely community on Patreon who support this whole adventure and sponsor our video production. So just wanted to say a massive thank you to you guys. You put the wind in our sails, basically.
If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, why don't you click the link below and have a further investigation of the page. We've got heaps of bonus content up there, we do live chats, and we really make it a platform to engage with our Patreon community. But the most exciting part is that we really want to bring patrons on this journey and invite them on board Avalon for somewhere in this wonderful world.
On this wonderful boat. So originally we said that we were going to wait till we reached our goal of 200 patrons, but sod it, we can't, sod it. But stuff it, we can't wait that long. We're a bit too excited to invite you on board, so we're going to pull the trigger early. And
part of that is to say thank you to our Patreon community, because of their support has just been absolutely incredible. So we want to make sure we give them the opportunity to be part of it.
yeah. So we've decided that in 3 weeks' time, regardless of how many patrons we've got, we're just going to pull a name at random out of our magic patron sorting hat. So make sure you tune in 3 weeks' time to find out whether it's you. And you've still got time to become a patron if you want a chance of coming on board Avalon.
This will hopefully be the first of many of our adventures to bring patrons on board. But we want to show that we're serious about it, and we want to show that we really want to support our Patreon community. So get excited and subscribe to Patreon.
And join us next week as we finish our crossing to the most abundant ecosystem on the earth. Yummy!
So, everyone's working this morning? Everyone's at work trying to make the money?
Taking over the world, one blog post at a time.
I know. What are you doing there, Xanthe?
I'm editing all the your thing that you're saying on here, actually.
Australia.
We're all mate.
And the ums.
Yeah. What episode you doing?
San Blas Uno.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
got a lot of editing to do then, don't you, mate?